Hey, hope everyone is well. It's January the 27th, I think. It's a Saturday. It's grey and horrible. It's about 10 o'clock, but I've got the day off, so I'm going to go out and take some photos. This will be the first time that I've been out for an extended time, more than like an hour here and there to take some photos. So I'm really excited. It's kind of cold at the moment in Okinawa. I mean, my car says 18 today, but this week it's been down to 13, I think, which 13 in Okinawa is freezing. I've got my lunch at a convenience store. I've got a delicious tuna onigiri rice ball, very delicious, healthy. I've got my curry bread, extremely delicious, unbelievably unhealthy, and I've got my jumbo iced cafe latte. So good. Anyway, let's get going and let's see what we can get. So the traffic is really bad. So I just asked the guy at the toll gate, why is it so bad? This is very unusual. He said because it's the Sakura festival going on in the north of Okinawa today. I didn't know that. So Sakura obviously is the cherry blossom, and I like taking shots every year of the birds in the cherry blossom, but my impression is they're not bloomed yet. So even though there's a festival today, well, I'll have a look later. I'm going to go much more north than this festival. So hopefully when this traffic clears, drive on up to the north of the island. If I see any sakura, I'll be sure to try and get some photos. So there are fields full of cosmos flowers, which I didn't know about. I thought they bloom at a different time. So this is going to be the first stop. I'm going to use a telephoto lens to see if I can get some interesting bokeh shots of some flowers. There's a few tourists around taking pictures with their phones. So I'm going to see if I can get some close-up shots of a few flowers in these fields. Okay, let's do it. So what I'm doing is I am trying to use Pro Capture to get pictures of these beautiful cosmos. There's quite a few of these cosmos fields now up in the north of Okinawa. And first things first, when you do this kind of photography, you want to choose your location. First place I went to, there were masses of fields, but loads of tourists taking photos. I certainly couldn't be sitting on the road like this with a long lens. I'd look ridiculous. Just 2 kilometers down the road, there's not as many, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 fields of cosmos. And it's a really good location because I'm on my own. I have to get up occasionally, like now when a car comes. They think I look ridiculous, but that's okay. Just let them pass. So they've seen me, so they're probably now going to stop here. They don't realize there's another field, and that's fine. It's not my land. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to get low down, and I'm using Pro Capture to take pictures of bees leaving these flowers. Now, this particular field out of the 4 is the highest. These fields here are shrunk. So I want to be as eye level as possible. So I'm choosing a high flower amongst the other flowers and waiting for an insect, a bee, to land on that. So it's got a nice blurred background. Now there are millions of missed shots here, and obviously it's using up the card very much because Pro Capture takes so many shots. But I'm not really looking for ultra sharp shots because I'm basically picking a flower, the bee's on it very quickly. I just want to get a nice scene, so a nice background, the bee semi-sharp and the flower semi-sharp. That's all I'm really looking for. But yeah, it's just fun. And this light is perfect. It's a little bit dark, but it's completely overcast. So it's like a soft light. So there's no reflections. There's only a few white flowers, but they're not, it's difficult to overexpose them. My settings are about 1,600th of a second, auto ISO. I've got single point. I'm not using bird detection. I'm switching my aperture between wide open and about f8, f9, depending on the location of the flower and how far out the background is. I've got 0.7 exposure compensation up because for some reason when I use Pro Capture, it always seems to slightly underexpose, and I want to expose to the right as much as possible. What else? Spot metering, I think. That's about it. And I tried to sort of put the single point at the bottom of the flower, at the bottom of the frame. So I want the flower at the bottom of the frame to give a little bit of space for the bee to then fly into. Lots of missed shots, but the ones that come out I think will look quite nice. But yeah, you do want to think about that background, because if I just find a bee here, there is one here actually, and I just go down, the background's going to be horrible. It's going to take away from the bee. So that's why you want to get as low as possible. This field's great because it's high as possible. These ones are lower. And I can get down and I can blur out that background. So the viewer is really going to focus on the bee. Difficult, lots, and I'll get hardly any sharp shots today, but this kind of light, it's not really bright enough for bird photography. It's too dark. But for this kind of photography, this light's fine. So that was super exciting. So at my new location, I finished taking photographs of the cosmos. So I came to this location, I turned around here, and one of my favorite birds, a kestrel, was just perched on here. So I froze. I haven't really seen many kestrels this winter, and they're usually so skittish. And I certainly never get any poses on eye level perches like that. They're usually up in the air. So I froze. I think, oh, he's going to go. Got my camera out. He then flew off. Unbelievably, he flew off from here and then landed a little bit further down here. So my car's here now, and he landed on this one here. I was like, oh, so I came further down the road. He didn't move. I thought, oh my God, he's right in front of me. Got my camera out, took a photo, and this has happened before. I think I've got high res shot or something else programmed to a button, schoolboy mistake. I pressed it, and then it started doing something weird. I was like, oh no, and of course he flew off. So I don't even know if I've got anything. I'll never get that close again, eye level, to a kestrel. I mean, so beautiful. I love kestrels. They're only here in the winter. We'll see if it came out or not. I don't know where he's gone now. He was hovering a minute ago, but they're so beautiful, kestrels. Definitely one of my favorite birds. Anyway, not a lot else going on at this location. These fields here later in the year will be all full of irises, these beautiful blue flowers or violet flowers or whatever. Let me see if I can drive around and find that kestrel. That was so cool, but stupidly, I need to change that setting because it's happened before. I set it ages ago to a button maybe on the top of the camera, and I've accidentally pressed it before, and in that case I missed a great opportunity. So you live and learn. So just driving around looking for the Kestrel, and I pulled up next to a tree and there was a grey-faced buzzard in it. So I quickly put it into Pro Capture and just captured it flying out of the tree. I don't know if it's any good. As I said, the light today is not really a bird in flight day, but very close to a cool bird as well. If it's any good, I'll show you that picture. So yeah, there's a few grey-faced buzzards, that one Kestrel, but nothing else. So I think I'm going to move to the next location. This is very typical of the slow pace of life in Okinawa. There's now about 20 cars behind me, and the reason is in front of this car in front of me there is a old man driving, probably a farmer from around here, driving, and he's driving at 39 kilometers per hour. And there's a lot of people that want to get up north, tourists and whatnot, and they're used to coming from whatever part of Japan they've come from, driving at much higher speeds than this. And this is just Okinawan life. You just have to put up with it. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you just have to put up with it. You know, he's probably born and raised here, and he's going to take his own time to get where he's going, and that's fair enough. So the sakura are in bloom, but I'm not even going to get my camera out because it's just too dark. And usually I take pictures of the Japanese white-eye, the little green birds that you get in these, but they are so fast. So it's good to see that the sakura's out, but as I said, I won't even attempt to take pictures of the birds today. There are some trees near my house every year, but I will wait until it's sunnier and I'll go there after work or something. Right, so my last stop of the day. I'm on the way home. The light's terrible, but what I tried to do is I want to try and do some handheld live ND shots. Now, I'm at this spot here. There's lots of rocks. The car's up there, and I managed to get down without breaking my neck, which is pretty amazing considering how clumsy I am. But there's a little bit of action with the waves smashing on these rocks. Now, I'm not really concerned about getting the right composition. I have actually got a tripod in the car, but I just can't be bothered to do that. So I'm basically just put it into the maximum, which is ND6, which gives me about half a second exposure at the moment, and not a miss shots, not really concerned about the other settings, just seeing what I can get. So this rock here has been hit with lots of waves, so I've kind of zoomed in on that, seeing if I can get anything. So yeah, this is what the last stop of the day. See if I can get something. God, I'm shaking a lot. I apologize about that. Okay, let's see what I can get. So this kind of photography obviously is much better with a tripod, but the OM-1, this kind of feature, I just want to try it. So it's almost fun. If I get something, I'll feel more of achievement. If I get a tripod down there, set up properly, I'll get something. But I really have no idea what I'm going to get. So it's kind of fun just trying out this kind of feature. But yeah, it's giving me half a second, half a second. I'm at ISO 500 auto, has set it to that. F3.2. I could actually do this properly and set it up properly. Okay, let's go to F8. Let me do my ISO. I want to get my ISO down. So I'm going to go to ISO 200. So if I go to shutter speed, right, let's just get it slower. Right. Yeah, that's not going to work. Anyway, I just play around with the settings, see what's what. It's got to be in shutter priority. It won't work in aperture mode. So I don't have my tripod, but I did have a handkerchief, and there's these rocks. Now, again, very precariously placed. That could slip, but I'm smart. So what I've done is I've put the cord there, which almost certainly won't work, but if it falls, at least I tried. There's the composition. I just said I'm not bothered about composition, but as I'm here, I might as well try and get something. What we're doing is I've set it up to ISO 200. I'm at 6 seconds and it's at f14. I'm just sort of playing around. Like, it gives you, all the screen's kind of weird now because it gives you what it might be. So you press that. I've got it on 2-second shutter delay, so the shutter doesn't knock the camera. Anyway, let's try. 2 seconds, it's taking the shot. It says 6 seconds. That's come on. No, it doesn't give me the preview, so let me see if I can go around here without totally moving it. Let's press the preview button. So there is the shot. Now, I don't know how that's going to look, but yeah, maybe not bad. Just playing around, as I said. I'm zoomed in quite a bit. Right, that was fun. I was worried about falling over and slipping and dying, but I didn't, so I get to live another day. That was good. I don't know if I got anything good. It was just fun. I didn't use the tripod, so I did about 90% handheld and live ND, and then I had a handkerchief in my pocket. I put that down on the rocks, and kind of risky because it could have easily slipped, but I took a couple of long exposures with the camera on the rocks on my handkerchief. So hopefully I got something. Anyway, it's been a really fun day. I don't know if I've got any good shots at all today, because it's all been a bit, bada bada in Japanese, which means random, just going from here to there, changing the genres. But it was really fun. It was a really nice scene, actually. I'll go back to that exact location in the future with a tripod and a proper setup, because I think there's good shots to be had there when the sky's a bit more interesting. But anyway, on the way home, almost getting dark now. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye, take care.